What's going on, Roasters? It's Brian Baldinger with the NFL Network, and you're listening to The Morning Roast with Bonte and Shasky on 95.7 The Game.
Oh, it's coming in funky. Like that, nice guy? I like that.
I'm feeling it.
I like that on a Monday morning. Good morning, everybody out there. As we start the week off, yes, we are still 13 days away from the NFL season opener for the 49ers. Play, of course, the Chicago Bears, September 11th at Soldier Field. We cannot wait for that. We'll get back into the Niners in just a second because cut-down day is tomorrow, Langford. Cut-down day is tomorrow. So is Trey Sermon going to be on the roster? And I know we're 50 minutes into the show. I didn't want to bring this guy up.
Oh.
I didn't want to bring him up.
Who?
Guy they call Jimmy.
Oh. I thought you were going to talk in Tyler Croft.
By the way.
Thought you were talking Jason Poe.
No.
That's the guy I have my eye on. Jason Poe. Come on, man.
Come on.
Better get him to the 53-man roster, Kyle Shanahan. Jason Poe, number 62. Or is he number 61?
He's 62.
62. No, he's 62 and he's 6'1".
Yeah.
I get those two mixed up. It's either he's 61 and he's 6'2", or he's 6'1 and he's 62.
Didn't have the greatest game last Thursday night.
No, he did not. I had my focus on him. I was talking very highly of him on Friday. Then I honed in on him, and he kept on missing secondary and third level blocks.
Yeah, it was not pretty.
No, one didn't look good.
Pretty.
Didn't look good.
Not pretty. So, cut down day.
Yes.
Because what are the 49ers going to do with Jimmy Garoppolo? We'll discuss that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Last Jerry Rice at 8:30, the GOAT, the Hall of Famer, the greatest receiver, the greatest NFL football player of all time, will join us at 8:30 on the Morning Roast, and he'll join us all season long. Not every single week, but he'll be on with us all season long. At some point, he's got a busy schedule, so we got to, whenever Jerry Rice can do it, we'll do it. We'll
Definitely.
talk to him. No doubt about that. So we'll ask him about Debo, what the heck to do with Jimmy Garoppolo. I wonder if Jerry would have said, hey, you know what, bring back Jimmy to compete with Trey Lance. I don't know. But what are the Niners going to do with number 10 tomorrow? 888-957-9570 if you want to guess what the Niners are going to do tomorrow, because it doesn't feel like there's any trade partners for Jimmy Garoppolo.
No, actually, you're right. That'd be a very interesting topic when it comes to Jimmy, because he likes Jimmy. I think he likes him overall as a quarterback, but he's also worked with Trey Lance before, and the way that he talks about Trey Lance, he speaks very highly of him. So, actually, that's going to be intriguing coming up at 8:30.
I didn't ask you this.
Yes.
But I'm seeing Roy on YouTube.
Roy.
Can he take a pay cut, or is it too late for that?
Roy. That's a good question.
Would you want him back as a backup, Langford? You're a Raider fan. I know that. I don't mean to put your business out there. You're feeling good.
It's fine.
You're 4-0 in the preseason. Got some buzz going on. Devontae Adams, I heard he was just cooking Patriot cornerbacks in his joint practices.
Dude, he had
Vegas.
this appearance on the podcast, and the way that he was talking about it.
Pivot?
He says, like, I got three different plans in my head. I got three different options depending on whatever you do. Hey, man, you shade me 5 yards outside. I got three things for that. Hey, man, I'm going to fool like I'm going inside. And if you think I'm going outside just because I'm fooling going inside, well, you know what? I'm going to go inside.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
I know.
I know. He's going to be a
But
stud.
covering this team for the 49ers, right?
Yeah,
what I've been doing
covering
the past 3 years,
Right.
It's fascinating seeing everything that's going on. But what was the question that you had?
Would you be open to bringing him back as a backup?
Jimmy G?
And before we go back, we'll get to him, but I'm just wondering.
No.
Sudfeld?
Don't think so.
Brock Purdy? Well, Brock Purdy made the roster. That's the biggest thing. Brock Purdy gets cut? Oh, my God, people are going to go crazy.
I think so the way that it works is with the contract, I wonder with the pay cut, obviously by the time September 11th rolls around, if they don't cut him by September 10th, that means they have to pay him the fully guaranteed contract.
Yep.
So all of it that he has, which is the $24.2 million, I believe that's the exact amount. So I'm not sure. Like, if you have a chance, if you're Jimmy Garoppolo and you have a chance to stay with the 49ers, why are you taking a pay cut? Hey, I'm here till after September 10th. Hey, I'll stick around.
My money.
I'm getting my money. Why would Jimmy take the pay cut?
Yeah.
That would be my question there. But no, I wouldn't keep him as a backup. Like, I just don't see the benefit of it for the Niners. Sure, you can, create some competition with Trey Lance, but that's all gone. That opportunity. Like, training camp is out of the way. Jimmy Garoppolo was working on the small field where the special teams was working for a majority of the time that I was there. Like, that's where Jimmy's working.
Right.
He's not competing for the starting job, or at least competing for at least giving Trey Lance some extra motivation. Like, he's not doing any of that. And training camp is far from gone, or is far away now. So, like, I don't think there's any use to bringing him back. And look, the only way that they would is I think they would keep 3 quarterbacks if they do that. So it would be either Nate Sudfeld or Brock Purdy that they'd keep as their number 2, and then they'd have Jimmy Garoppolo as the 3rd quarterback. I personally think they're just going to keep 2 quarterbacks this year.
Yeah, I think Brock Purdy's going to get cut too. By the way, the NFL's 53-man roster deadline is tomorrow.
Yep.
August 30th, 1 p.m. Pacific time. 1 p.m. Pacific time is when everybody has to have their 53-man roster set. Teams will have to whittle down and start cutting guys.
Right.
So the NFL roster maximum is 80 players ahead of cut day. So now teams are going to start figuring out who they're going to cut. One big battle, obviously Brock Purdy, Trey Sermon, Poe, who you mentioned, the offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Also the defensive line. Who are they going to cut from that unit? That unit is loaded. How many D linemen are the Niners going to carry on this roster? Is it going to be 9?
Is it going to be 9?
10?
Yeah.
You know, linebacker-wise, safety, what did they do in the secondary with all the injuries? What are they going to do? That's safety. That's going to be something we look at. But cut day is official tomorrow, 1 p.m. 1 p.m. tomorrow. Teams have to set their 53-man roster in 209 on the Comcast Business text line. Did you see Jimmy Garoppolo was on the NFL Top 100 list yesterday? He was 106. 106. He just missed the cut of the top 100.
So he wasn't on the top 100 list.
He was on the top 110 list.
He was on the top 110
top
list.
110.
Congratulations, Jimmy. Top 110. Yeah, I mean, that's something, I guess. I don't really know how they quantify that. Like, how far up does it go? Do they have a top 200?
They should.
Do they have I mean, they might as well go top 300 at this point.
106, baby.
I mean,
106. And you heard the player. I forgot who the player was who broke it down. But he was like, you know, he has one of the quickest releases in the game. And you just see a highlight montage of Jimmy throwing it.
Right.
Quick release. Well, that's not his throwing, but
yeah.
You know,
I will say that the suitors for Garoppolo, it has expanded now. I think it's more than just, well, you know, he's going to go to the Seahawks. Like, I think isn't that the prevailing thought? Is just, yeah, Jimmy's going to the Seahawks if he gets cut. No doubt about it.
Well, I mean,
they named Geno Smith the starter.
Well, did you see Drew Lock? And that'll put a lot of stock in the preseason. But Drew Lock looked like he was in regular season form in their last preseason game in Dallas.
Really?
He threw 3 interceptions.
I was about to ask, did he throw like one big touchdown where it's like, whoa, Drew Lock made that throw? He should be the starter, but then he throws 3 INTs.
He threw 3, and there were some bad interceptions. Bad interceptions.
Yeah.
And he looked depressed after the game. He knew that was his shot to take the starting job.
He's not out there singing Young Jeezy?
No, he's not.
Or Jeezy, excuse me. He took the Young out a little while ago.
He did take the Young out. It's just Jeezy
He's not singing Jeezy.
Yeah, he's not young no more.
That's one of my favorite videos ever, is the Drew Lock singing Jeezy on the sideline as he's crushing the Raiders.
That was pretty legit. By the way, since we're here, not to take the train off the track, but when is Wayne going to just be Wayne, not Lil Wayne? Like, at some point, you have to take the little off your name.
Good point.
You know, you become 35, 36. You're not little anymore. You're a grown-ass man. Like, little baby. What is going to happen? Is he going to just be called baby soon? Well, are you going to take the little off?
Well, you know what? Lil Wayne turns 40 on September 27th.
Not little no more.
So less than a month. When you're 40, take off the Lil. You're just Wayne. Gosh, what a boring rapper name.
Lil Wayne.
What's up? I'm Wayne.
I'm Wayne.
I don't know. Whatever. But the suitors, though, from preseason. So the Giants, what happened with Tyrod Taylor? I believe it was yesterday.
He got carted off. Yeah,
he got carted. Now, they said he's okay. It was, and you know, Brian Dable says that he's going to be okay. But you don't know what's going to happen there. With the Panthers, you know, I don't think they're going to have a quarterback room of Baker Mayfield and Jimmy Garoppolo there, but Sam Darnold has a high ankle sprain.
Right.
Who knows what's going to happen there? Are they inclined to possibly sign Jimmy? I mean, it seems like those were the 3 teams that we were talking about as far as trade partners goes. Because their quarterback rooms don't exactly have much depth. They don't have like a young up and coming rookie like the Falcons or the Titans or anything like that.
Carolina is interesting, Langford, because Darnold's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks with the high ankle sprain.
Yeah,
they need a backup. Who's the other guy? PJ Walker.
Yep,
he played a little bit last year.
Yeah,
I don't know how many games you can win with him.
Right.
Cleveland is still out there. Seattle's definitely. I think Seattle may be the spot, and the Niners may be at this point saying, "Look, we want him to get as less time to prepare as possible. We want to make sure that we see Geno Smith week 2. And I don't think the Niners are afraid of Jimmy Garoppolo, but you want to have a competitive advantage against a team within your division. So maybe that's it. Maybe Seattle is the place for him.
It might be.
I
think that'd be dumb for Cleveland to not pick him up, though. Everyone's just like, oh, you know what? Jacoby Brissett plays mistake-free football, blah, blah, blah. I'm
I don't know about that.
But if Jimmy's cut and you could get him for a cheaper price, like the original talking point was, well, you know what, the Browns could trade for him and they could pay his fully guaranteed contract. That way, you could just trade for him and he's not going to reject it because he still can reject a trade if possible, but not unless the other team pays the entirety of his salary. Right. So we're like, oh, you know what, he could go to the Browns and they could pay the entire salary because they have that much money left in their salary cap. But now if you could get him at a discounted price, like I don't know, man. For 11 games, 11 games is a lot, man.
Jimmy will keep you in football games. I believe Jimmy gives you a better chance to win football games than Jacoby Brissett.
Mike Florio, when he joined you guys last week, or us rather, last week, and he said something to the effect of, when talking about Jimmy possibly going to the Seahawks, well, you know what? He can be that type of quarterback where you can not exactly do a full 180 and they're an instant playoff team, but you can make them, better than what's expected than with Geno Smith, which I do agree with, but the Seahawks roster, I don't know if it works with DK and Tyler Lockett for Jimmy G. I don't know if two deep threats is going to work, but with the Browns, man, they have everything that you'd want on the offensive side. I think the Browns would be dumb to not sign Jimmy. That's just me.
How frustrating will it be for Amari Cooper if Jimmy is the quarterback? I mean, Amari Cooper loves to go deep, too.
He does, but he can run the short intermediate routes. He can. I get that, but it's more just their run game, their offensive line. Like, Jimmy has proven that he can work with a good roster, and they also got a good defense, too.
They do have a really good defense. No doubt about that. By the way, we're getting the Lil Wayne stuff. Our boy Dante Wiley. What up, Dante? YouTube. Hey, B, Lil Wayne is 5'2". Then I see the 602 on the Comcast business text line. Wayne is literally little. He's maybe 5'4", 925. Lil Wayne is only 5'1". So
which one is it?
It's basically he's short. By the way, Hawk Hater, what up, Hawk Hater? Little baby going to change his name to Toddler.
Toddler?
The official height for Lil Wayne on Google, according to Google, is 5 feet 5 inches. So
okay. Wow.
5'5"'s not. I thought come on, he's got to be shorter. I've seen him in person.
Really?
He's got to be shorter.
Where'd you see him?
So when he was with the Cash Money Millionaires, Hot Boys, when they were really hot. When it was Back That Ass Up and Bling Bling and all that. They did a concert at the Oakland Coliseum. And Bay legends know about this college. They never really got to do their concert because people started fighting. And it became a big-time brawl. And it became ugly. And so they were staying at the Miyako Hotel in Japantown. They could still call it the Miyako Hotel, right up the street from Benny Honda's. And so me being a senior in high school, I'm aging myself here, we knew they were staying there, so all of us was waiting right there, and they had all the security stuff, so I saw Manny Fresh. Manny Fresh was like 5'4", 5'5". Lil Wayne he was a lot younger back then, but he was like 5'2", 5'1". I was like, damn, the Cash Money Millionaires are short. So we saw him there. We saw him there at the hotel, getting under a charter bus, and then they dipped off without doing a concert. So people remember that concert in Oakland.
So it made sense that Lil Wayne was his name because he's actually Lil.
At the time.
Yeah.
At the time.
Interesting. But when it comes to Jimmy G, that's not all. That put him to the side real quick. Another thought that I had from the weekend, actually speaking on this on this current 49ers team. I don't know if anybody's seeing what's happening in Miami right now, but Mike McDaniel, head coach over there.
You saw Baldy's breakdowns?
Dude, so he was the OC here with the 49ers, and he was the run game coordinator. Mike McDaniel did not get any notoriety at all as the run game coordinator because no one heard him speak until last year when he started going to the podium because he was the offensive coordinator.
Right.
Like, I'm really curious this year to see what that run game looks like because Mike McDaniel's slowly been behind the scenes, watching a lot of film, breaking down a lot of tape, and designing those plays. And he's doing it right now with Miami, and he's having a lot of success, even with a 7th-round quarterback. Thompson, I don't remember his first name, but I'm seeing Raheem Mostert go off for a big run and look at that scheme, and I'm just like, wow, that is exactly what we've seen with the Niners.
River Craycraft. And Trent Sherfield's on that roster. And Baldy was breaking it down their last preseason game against the Eagles. Their different formations, how they're setting the fullback and getting matchups based on spacing.
Yeah.
And then the cheetah, Tyreek Hill, first play of the game, 51 yards, boom. Now, was it a
Could
bad
have been
throw?
could have been a touchdown. Actually, if that was thrown a little hard, that would have been a touchdown.
Talk about Tua Tagovailoa here. All
Would have been a
you're on the-